to Dharma. This is amazing. In the last 2 years, there have never been so many people sitting up front. Never happened before. We planned it all, right? This is all, everyone said, okay, we're all going to come in, we're all going to sit, and have Krishna up front. No, this has never happened. I believe it. New to Dharma class? How many people? New to meditation? New to Zen? One more person, he's going to sit up front too. We've never had so many people sit. We're going to run out of room up front. 2 more. So we'll meditate just for a few minutes, just to start here. Any comments or questions on your meditation practice? Easy, fun, no distractions, no monkey mind. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Who knows how to breathe? Who knows? Who can engage breathing? Completely inhaling, completely exhaling with no hesitation.
I was having trouble turning the thoughts off, so
Oh, don't do that. It's impossible. Impossible.
it's resorted.
That's like jumping into the freeway. Stop. Not going to happen. Meditation isn't about stopping thinking. Not possible. Yeah.
While I'm breathing, I'm visualizing the breath going in and out. Is that's okay to visualize?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To let block other things out.
Yeah, so in meditation and Zen meditation, memories, past, past, right? Past. Where is the past? Not past. Future, planning. What are you going to do tomorrow? It's all set, right? It's going to happen exactly like that, right? Perfect. We plan. Never happens like that, but we do it anyway. Sensations, sounds, sights, feelings, mental constructions, emotions, good emotions, bad emotions, what we crave and what we don't like. All this big jumbles happen. And then, on top of all that, this is constantly changing, but we think this is me. But it's continuously changing. It's a very strange thing human beings do. But this is what everybody does. But are these thoughts, feelings, emotions, sensations, memories, future, is this who you are or who I am?
I have a comment to share related to sensations in particular because I find that as I get older and I practice and I have more physical discomfort, and to be aware of the sensation without attaching to, I'm talking about physical, is a very challenging practice for me, and I'm just wondering what Zen meditation has to say about that.
Physical sensation as you get
As
older
you're getting older.
becomes sensations become bigger or
I
our
think awareness and also sensations that maybe weren't there before, in terms of bodily discomfort, are interesting for me to know as years go by.
yeah, so all these things happen. So breathing. And thoughts, just release the thoughts into breathing, yeah.
The book that I was flipping through during the meditation, I just happened to read that one of our attachments of possessions includes our body and physical comfort. That's an attachment that we might benefit from letting go of that.
Yeah. I start itching.
That's the worst,
Is
isn't
it?
it? Pain I'll take anytime. Itching is terrible, right? Itching is really interesting, actually, too. So, especially in meditation, all of a sudden, like, and then really, like, you know, we can. That doesn't work. Then, if you really idea, and this is true of anything, thoughts, feelings, emotions, pains. But we'll talk about itching because it's more fun. So itching, it's so interesting. Like, try to resist the itch. Experiment, and then what happens? It gets worse. How does it know how to do that?
You're thinking about it more.
So there's always two sides to any object, whether it's a memory, anticipation, or a sensational object. There's two sides. There's three. There's the what we think is the objectified thing, the itch. Then there's who's observing, who's relating to the itch, and then there's the connection. And then there's this little I thing in there that thinks that itch is separate from me and I want to make it go away. That's the problem. A little bit of a problem. It's not me, I'm perfect. It's just an itch, it's bad, it's going to go away. Right? This is what we do with everything we don't like. Anger, whatever.
But what we give attention to grows.
And what we resist grows, right? Both ways.
Yeah. So just being.
Yeah. You're hired. So to be with the itch, or with the thoughts, or the feeling sensations, being with the anger. So it's like curiosity. We're inviting we're dropping our defenses and our controlling aspects to be the itch, to be we get the ideas to get this close, this self, this awareness, and this object. We're trying to get closer to it, not trying to run away. Close, 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 and then what happens when we get really close? Experiment on your own. This is very subtle, but very important. If you really pour yourself into the present moment, what happens to these things? In that present moment, like especially with an emotion, if you're absolutely present with an emotion, you really try and find it in that sense, not mentally, but with your whole awareness. God. And maybe it'll come back, but in the moment, it could be like wow. Then we try and figure it out. Mistake. Go back, breathing, body awareness, something else new arising, getting allowing, very closer, 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 closer. Not jumping in to fix things, figure it out, make a big party out of it. Not really. The big train of thoughts, feelings, emotions is going to come up. exhale. Especially on the total, complete exhale. It's, you're breathing really slowly and you completely exhale. At the very point, just before we inhale starts again, everything dissolves. Just kind of follow that space. Everything just goes. And then if something strong, of course, it's going to rise again. It's fine. This is the process. It's rising and falling away process. Don't try too hard. Don't space out. Try and grasp too hard. I'm going to make that get you away. And it's like. It's good.
So I tried to befriend it, but now I'm sitting here thinking, when I do that, am I attaching to it?
Not necessarily, no. Yeah, so you're inviting it to be your friend.
Uh-huh.
So like a friend of mine uses this phrase, she teaches Vipassana. She goes, kiss your demons on the nose. Or a famous story from great Tibetan yogi Milarepa from the 12th century. He's in his cave, 12-year cave retreat in Tibet, eating nettles. Great, tremendous yogi, Buddhist teacher. In the middle of that, he's being bothered by demons, literal demons, and they come to him. So what does he do? He serves them tea. Yeah, he knows that. So he serves them tea. 1 demon, 2 demons, 3 demons, 4 demons. And this is what we're doing. We're serving tea. And then maybe as our practice develops deeper, this is metaphor, of course, symbolic, but his experience too. Then a very big demon comes. Huge mouth, What does Milarepa do? He sticks his head in his mouth. And then the demons. Yeah.
People talk of owning one's shadow, or the relentless acceptance of self. I see that as serving of tea with demons.
Yeah.
Where you don't try to disown. If you try to disown yourself from your own feelings, it becomes worse.
Yeah. This is the tough work in meditation. Oh, everything's gonna be beautiful, happy, wonderful. Yeah, we go through. You have to go through our cravings and aversions.
We have to have compassion for ourselves that do have these imperfect human impulses, feelings.
Yeah. Yeah, become very curious, curious to explore the resistant corners. Zen story, China, Buddhism, China, the cook in the monastery overslept maybe a little bit and didn't have, he was late preparing soup for the day. Runs out to the garden and quickly cuts a bunch of vegetables, throws it in the soup, chops everything up. Just barely gets it ready in time. The master of the temple comes in, all the monks are there, and he serves all the soup quickly. And the headmaster, gets the soup. In cutting the vegetables really quickly, he was in such a rush, he had chopped up a snake inside the soup. And then, of course, by mistake, he had sort of the snake's head to the master. So the master calls him in, has his chopsticks, picks up the snake's head to the cook and goes, "What's this?" So it's of course Zen, it's symbolic, maybe it literally happened, who knows. What do you do at that point? So of course, being a great Zen cook, he takes the snake head, swallows it, and goes, "Thank you, master." It's one of my favorite stories. Don't do that literally. Unless you know what you're doing. But I think you get the idea. It's sort of like you're calling. If something hooks you, you have the repetitive patterns of what hooks us, and we need to look at not the object, but at the hook. Also, we have this tendency, it's also deeper, not just the content, but the process. So in meditation, again, breathing, body, and awareness, bringing those very close together, allowing the space for everything to arise, uninhibited, and just fall away. Again, posture is important. Eyes open, eyes closed. How many eyes closed? Oh, it's not too bad. Yeah. And you can see a scary movie, eyes open, eyes closed. Crossing the street, eyes open, eyes closed. So in Zen meditation, eyes half open. And you're blinking, of course, you're not open all the time, but it's much easier to integrate your meditation practice into your daily activity when you meditate with your eyes open.
Why?
This is where we live. This is our dimensional world. We're not trying to block anything. I mean, even if your eyes are closed, you're just staring at the back of your eyelids. There's no place to hide. See, we tend to want to go somewhere. We're going the other way. We want to go embrace this world completely. Yeah.
Is that I hear that other traditions would rather you do walking meditation and then do sitting meditation with your eyes closed, because the walking meditation is what makes you, better mindful of your daily activities. Is that similar to you?
Well, almost Buddhism entirely is eyes open meditation. And then also on retreat, of course, you have sitting and walking, sitting, eating. In a retreat, this seamless relationship of all your daily activities becomes one activity. So if you're sitting, okay, you're eating, okay, walking, okay, everything becomes the same. Different movements, different activities.
Do you have a focal point?
The focal point is the posture. So they call it posture of emptiness or Vairocana Buddha posture. So there's 7 points, means knees are, and this can be modified if you're sitting. So it's helpful for breathing if your knees are below your hips, because then this opens. If you're seated on a cushion, you can sit either this way or like this, like you are. You're sitting in a chair, you want to make sure your abdomen can open. Back of the neck should be a little bit this way, and then this drops the belly. Tongue on the roof of the mouth, it happens automatically usually. Is that for everybody? Tongue just goes up. That's not a random thing. See, that's important. The energetics of the body, if you look at traditional Chinese medicine or areas in Asia, the circulation of the channel, we go tongue on roof. And part of that posture then is eyes slightly open, 45 degrees down. Some traditions put a little emphasis on the breathing on the tip of the nose. This is in Zen and Vipassana also, and then also in the 2 fingers below the navel, the center of the body. So this breathing from this center is important. So those are the key anchoring points. And it is a yogic practice. It's very subtle, but it's still very important. Yogic Zen. Did I leave something out? And then breathing completely. So, effortless exhale. And then the abdomen relaxes on the exhale. We all have done this for quite an extended period of time. Everyone remember? H2? H2. It's H2 breathing. Then it's downhill from there. You start getting all uptight and emotions in the body. Somebody cuts in front of us on a car. These are good questions. Any more questions?
Could you say more about the hooks?
Hooks.
The things that grab, like the patterns. During my meditation, I feel like I notice when I'm thinking like worry or thinking something negative, and then bring myself back, or just watch it dissipate. But this time, I found myself like smiling because I was thinking of a positive memory, and I was like, oh, that's still something that's pulling my attention, even though it's not necessarily negative.
Yeah, and we often get into, oh, I want to repeat blah, blah, blah that happened, whatever. It's sometimes more of a problem than the difficult ones we see more obviously. Yeah. So again, it's more subtle, but then really putting more full awareness in the absolute present moment. And then when that happens, there's intrinsically in the nature of things, it's a much more spacious awareness takes place. We might suddenly feel without even, it's not something to even notice, but we're shifting a little bit from I am breathing to I am being breathed. And again, that present time awareness is the kind of open dimension to our intrinsic, we call unborn mind or Buddha nature. It's in that absolute present. It's better, I think, to try and directly, through our awareness, through our breathing, to engage that way, than to try and add anything by noting it. That kind of adds an extra layer. It's a little tangled up sometimes. Ready?